My Gavanen Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Arach here, Galadurthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome to your first look of version 3 in almost its completed state, as we now start a campaign as the new remnants of Angmar faction. So as ever, I'm starting here at the campaign selection screen, and there's a look at Mats's new icons for you across the top. We are playing, obviously, as Angmar, who start up here in the northern side of the Misty Mountains. Now, this is... I've been humming and hawing about whether or not to break this news, but when I scroll down in this column here, there's going to be something that so far no one has actually known, and we've not told anyone about. But I appreciate that throughout the course of this campaign, there's no way I'm going to be able to hide it. But anyway, I will keep it for as long as I can. So our victory conditions, we will go with the long ones, because they're not actually too bad for Bree. That's who we need to destroy, for Angmar. So we need to hold 40 regions, which is pretty much all of Rhudaur, so we're going to have to kill most people. And we will need to defeat the Northern Dunedain, which isn't too bad, Breeland, which also isn't too bad, and the Realm of Imladris, which also should be a bit of a doddle, because they never expand anywhere. So essentially it's killing those who killed us in time gone by, and that is all we need to do. So let's jump onto the campaign map and kick things off. Welcome to Divide and Conquer, and in preparation for the next version, I would implore you all again to please just have a read of this message. It explains some basic concepts that Medieval 2 differs from the original, from the later games where a lot of you are coming back to play. So to look at some of the highlights, I'm afraid again, recruitment is restricted until about the 60th to 68th turn. It can happen anywhere between those. That by the barracks event, your elite units will not be able to be trained until after about 60 turns in. You will need a town hall in towns or a castle hall in castles in order to train units. They do not train automatically like the later games do. Characters can and will die of old age, because it's all or nothing. We can't have elves not die of old age and everyone else die. Everyone either has to die or not die. So they do. And they live to, now I think it's 160 or 70 or something like that. So it's a good 400 to 500 turns if your character starts at 16 years old. Meaning it takes a long time for them to die. Visual changes obviously can be made by upgrading units at a blacksmith. By upgrading their armor, you will then upgrade their visual look. This is most prevalent for Gondor, Erebor, Eredluin, and Khazad-dûm. And we actually have quite a lot of armor upgrades as well, so that'll be cool to see. Bodyguards have a hard-coded replenishment rate of 77 unless they have a non-bodyguard unit, i.e. a unit that can be trained. If they have, for example, a standard militia unit who has 160 men in their battalion, then by retraining them in a town that can train that unit, they will return to 160. However, if they have a bodyguard unit that cannot be trained, such as everyone's standard bodyguard units outside of their capital city, then you will only ever retrain to 77 by the automatic replenishment. The only units that automatically replenish are bodyguards. You will have to retrain every other unit. Med 2 does not have the Rome 2 or Shogun 2 and beyond feature of auto-replenishing. There are no assassins or merchants. There are only diplomats and spies. So you can't kill anyone off like that. Yes, some factions have regional restrictions. Angmar is one, for example. We cannot build large cities, but we can build strongholds. There aren't too many of these restrictions throughout the game, but it gives some factions an identity, or it plays to a lore aspect of said faction. We won't have the Balrog and Sauron in our game, but in your games there will be more than one man in their battalion, and they will almost certainly crash your game. Sauron in version 3 has been fixed, so that needs to be removed. The Balrog will not be fixed in version 3. He's a post-version 3 change. Most factions cannot build boats, so you need to rely on mercenary cogs, and that's about it for now, to be honest. Rebel generals can and will attack you. So we are the remnants of Angmar, and we are, of course, remnants of the once great witch realm that presided over the north in the years leading up to, well, their fall was in 1975 of the Third Age. We are now in 2980 of the Third Age, so 1,005 years? Yes. So 1,000 years ago, Angmar stood as the great power in the north. they fought a long war against the realm of Arnor. This was a very long war. I believe it was about 400 years, all told. They came into that war after the realm of Arnor had been divided into three, with the hills and the lowlands of Rhudaur, which is this region over here. That was one sub-faction. Cardolan was the other, coming from sort of Bree and then down to the Gwathla River, and in truth all the way down to Siduri, but that was where they de jure held power. But Cardolan's main body of people lived here between Tharbad and Bree. And then finally Arthedain, with Anuminas on the shores of Lake Evendim and Fornost over in the North Downs. And Arthedain also stretched all the way, in truth, to the Bay of Foreshell, but in practice they only really controlled the lands around this sort of screenshot here. And Arnor, of course, fought against them. Rhudaur joined Arnor willingly with an uprising of hillmen, and they expunged the Dunedain. Cardolan fell in battle, and then to plagues and death. Many people fall to death. They fell to plagues, finishing them off. And then Arthedain endured until 1975, when the Battle of Fornost took place. And the last of the Arthedain were defeated. Their king, Arvedwi, fled north to the Bay of Foreshell, where he then drowned in the bay, despite warnings of the Icemen of Foreshell, the Losoth, telling him not to go in the ships, but he did anyway, and he died. And then the next year, the prince, or the son of the king of Gondor, the son was called Earnor, landed in Mithlond with a large force from Gondor that had been sent north to aid their Dunedain brothers. And with the help of Glorfindel of Imladris and the elves of Lindon and Imladris, they marched on the Witch King's armies and they defeated him outside of Fornost here. The Witch King fled south, where he then, well, if you believe the films, he was then buried in the Highfelds of Rhudaur, which is a load of utter garbage. In truth, he fled south, and he then, within, I think it's about 10 years or something, captured Minas Morgul. So he fled south and, by way of revenge, took Minas Morgul. His armies were destroyed, and the armies of Gondor and the elves swept the north and wiped out everyone that remained. Orc, human, or otherwise, they were wiped out utterly. And this is where DaC's lore then takes divergence and Angmar lives on, with humans now predominantly occupying the north, the humans that were here before the Witch King came. The Witch King brought the orcs and summoned them from the mountains. The humans were the ones who laid claim to Angmar in our verse, and depending on how you read much of the lore, in Tolkien's world also. It's very much suggested humans were the majority of Angmar and the orcs came afterward. Fast forward 1,000 years of us doing nothing other than raiding into Eriador every now and then, sending wolves over when the Great Winter, and then here we are, finally roused by Sauron as he has need of a threat in the north. He calls upon us to attack, and so we do. Starting from, of course, our capital of Khandum, where we will find Overlord Agandaur, who has been sent north from Mordor, and he has come to rile the men of Angmar and send them out for war. And we're going to try this time to actually be better with military things. First of all, let's get it so we can train more troops. That would be nice. Shadoon, how much are you giving me with your mines? Plenty. I will take that. And Litash, can you get mines? You can. I'll take your mines if that's going to take a long time to get, actually. We won't be able to get those. So Overlord Agandaur is our faction lord. If we head to our family tree, you'll see that Overlord Agandaur and his wife Zerubel have been sent north. He has a son and daughter, Inzilbeth and Afanuzir. Afanuzir is not yet of age, and Inzilbeth married Lord Skuld, who has been accepted as the faction heir of our realm. Lord Skuld being the current lord of the Angmarim. He is their leader. But he's stepped aside for Agandaur, who's been sent by Sauron and has a rather commanding presence. You'll also note that Agandaur has adopted Hunvorn into the family tree as a way to bring him to bear upon their enemies, and Hunvorn is a relic of the realm of Cardolan. You will note there that his wife, Galathnis, she passed away way back when Cardolan fell in 1410. Hunvorn has lived on as, of course, a wraith, where he starts here with his two Barrow-wites. Right, enough dilly-dally. That's about 10 minutes of exposure. Not exposure, what do they call it? Exposition. There's all of the preset alliances that take place at turn 1. Now, something to bear in mind... Oh, that needs to change. I need to do those still. Is that these icons here, as has been suggested by quite a few of our beta testers, are a little blurry. And when you see them scroll along the top, they're not the greatest of quality compared with the faction selection screen. But unfortunately, there is really very little that we are going to be able to do about that. Because the size of these icons, in order to actually get them in the game, they have to be 34 by 34 pixels. Some of them even less, sorry. It ranges from 25 to 34. And that's the only way the game will actually read them. Likewise, these ones have to also be shrunk down to 54 by 54 in order to get them in the game. Otherwise, they appear as giant icons and it breaks the game. So that is why they are, unfortunately, not of the highest quality. Right, we can train... We can get some hillmen and some conscripts. And I don't know why I've pulled you out. Oh, you'll have free upkeep in that fort over there. Let's make a bit of money. That brings us more. We do need to head out and attack somewhere, though. So, I've just moved him into that fort to save money, and then I'm not actually going to do anything. I think what I might do is we'll wait for the... We won't do anything until at least the turn 1 auto-resolve, auto-expansion has taken place. So let's end the turn, and everybody count with me now. The second hand is exactly on the 30. We should see some movement to Rohan about 15 seconds in on this first turn. If it takes... I think it actually takes about 16 to 20 seconds now. Right, that's the 15-second mark. Yes! We're going to have fast turns, everyone. You know, I haven't actually had a problem with the slow turn oddity bug for quite a while. And if you do have slow turns, I again implore you, wipe everything from the system. Not your entire computer, but Med 2. Uninstall Med 2, take away all the mods, reinstall it and start again. And you should have no problem then. The game does not have slow turns by default. It only happens to certain computers and certain people. And it's something that you'll have to fix yourselves, I am afraid to say. I would quite like to get mines in Litash so that we start off with a solid economic base. So I am going to leave my armies here. Let's check how long this turn takes. Oh, we're exactly on the half second again. I'm going to go to about 3 turns before we actually move anyone out so that we can build mines in both Shadun and Litash. And then we'll be able to head out. Now, this version 3 is showing off very many aspects that will be in version 3. Particularly, one such aspect is there are a lot more loading screens than there were present in previous versions because of the way that we are going to do the installer. Size is no longer really an issue. So there are now 244 loading screens as opposed to 75, and all of them are courtesy of El Monstero, who gathered them together and put them in the game. So you should get a lot of loading screen variety, which is nice. The other thing is that whilst this version, of course, has YouTube-friendly music, so you will have Lord of the Rings music in your own games. This version has YouTube-friendly music, because otherwise they flag it as copyright. But there will be sound effects present in this version that will be in version 3, again, courtesy of El Monstero. Some of he overhauls our music as well. So El Monstero is going to give us some new sound effects, I believe it's from the Europa Barbara mod, and some new music here, there, and everywhere. One more end turn and then we're good to go, and we would have saved up and got some buildings in place. But he has also expanded on the Lord of the Rings music as well, with some various other areas where we can pull music in for factions who previously had very few sounds or very few songs, such as the Evil Men of the East, Harad, Rune, and Kand. So there's a lot more music in the game as well for version 3. Now, some of those new songs will be in this version that you're watching now, but because I'm only playing as Angmar, you'll only get Angmar-related songs, so it's likely that there won't be any change to the music here, but you will have new sound effects. So that's something to be pleased with, or for, or about. Right, to give you an idea of my goal then, I want to push for Imladris relatively quickly and then push down south for the northern Dunedain. From my knowledge of the beta testing, the dwarves will take a while to get to us, so I'm not too concerned about rushing them as I did when I played Angmar in the past. So we shall train an army from our capital there, which will head south and join with Morholt. But we will send our 3 Barrowite generals over to Angsul
Nothing shall escape your notice
to take
in
it.
these lands, my lord.
Agandau, you should probably return there, to be honest. I can't remember what bodyguard he has. Oh, he has Dark Numenorians, doesn't he? So he will never be free upkeep in any of our cities. So he should really be leading an army, actually, because Morholt will have free upkeep. Drangu and his orc hordes coming from over there. We're making enough. We'll chuck those 4 in as well. So that will be our recruitment. We'll leave it at those lot. And we'll send Hoonvorn and the Wraiths out to Angsul. The Anduin Vale and the Wooden Realm have allied. Morvatarth is free and ready, but what I want is Kameth Bryn. Give us a perfect staging ground. In fact, why don't we just push out now?
Finish them!
Our armies can join us as we go.
The men are spent. An order.
Lord Schooled, you will be
Nothing shall
guarding the
escape
border.
your notice in these lands, my lord.
Looking very, very nice.
Yes.
Our own alliances, just to give you an idea, are Mordor, of course, the Goblins of Moria, and the Orcs of Gundabad. So we're allied to all of those around us. We are at war already with the Northern Dunedain, the Breeland, the Dwarves of Ered Luin, the Grey Havens of Linden, the Realm of Imladris, and of course, Independent Realms. So everyone hates us, but don't worry too much about that for now. We'll just focus, on trying to capture everything as quickly as possible so that we're in a position to meet our enemy when they inevitably come at us and say, hello, we don't like you very much, and we're here to claim your lands. Khan's new icon, which is the large yellow shield you may have seen just whiz past after Harad there, is my new favourite. I absolutely love it. It looks very, very nice.
Them, an order. As you command.
There we are. There's Angsul.
Crush the enemy.
Right, we've just got surely our extra mine. Oh, one more turn. Oh, God's sake. And then we'll have the money available. But Morvatarth won't bring us much money, but it's worthwhile getting that before we move on to Kameth Bryn. Or potentially it's worth actually just pushing straight through to Kameth Bryn. Yes, we've got mines. So that we beat the goblins to it, because I'm sure they'll be interested in taking Bryn. Do you note that rare units for Angmar include the Barrowites, which we can train in Khan Durm. There's the Variegs of Khan. And we can also then train in other key Numenorian cities. Or not other, sorry. Khan Durm was not built by Numenorians. One of the few large fortresses in the world that wasn't, actually. I'm realising now that despite the fact that Barrowites are very powerful, sending 3 of them on their own against that many might be a mistake. So I am going to ship some of these guys over.
Your will, my lord.
In fact, send the lot.
By your command.
Agandau return to Khan Durm. And we're losing money.
Your will, my lord. We'll make camp here.
And Shadoon, did you get the units in? No, you didn't. Alright. Don't worry about it for now, then. Send your wargs, because they're not free upkeep anyway.
Get ready for fighting. Yes.
Ah, no, that's foolish. We might as well combine our generals. Build a tower while you still can.
Nothing shall escape your notice in these
Oh, come off it,
lands,
Shadoon. Why do you not like me?
Move. Yes. Finish them.
We will let them rise up against us. Men of Rhudaur who have not yet sworn allegiance to the new rise of Angmar. Many, of course, taking fault with Agandau, our new lord. Not accepting him.
Moving to crush the enemy. Besieging the orders.
They will probably rise up, so we'll have to back away. But if they don't, we'll at least get a turn in on the construction of the siege equipment, so we'll put that in now. My goal really is Imladris. I'm going and I'm gunning for Imladris. I want them down quickly and proficiently, and then our southern border is protected, because we won't have any trouble with Dunland. And the Northern Dunedain cover, of course, our entire southern border, so if we can make some peace on that southeasterly side, then that'll be better. That'll be better. They did rise up, but now we get a look at their army. Oh, goodness, there's a lot of lumbermen in there. And some sellswords. So, no, we will wait for the reinforcements to arrive. Ah, but Morvatarth is going for it.
Yes, but this implies we fear them.
Men of Rhudaur against men of Rhudaur. But we have a leader. They do have Huskars, though, who are the late-game Rhudaur unit. They are the second and better version of Rhudaur's Savages, which we have a unit of. So, but do note, Morholt the Hillman, I believe, has Huskars or something akin to them. But then if they're going to charge out against us, and they've just got a lot of hillmen who are just low-level trash, if we wait till our wargs arrive, we can then charge those units. Nah, why do that? That's boring. Go for it. Battle! Save. Save, save, save.
Show no mercy.
I love Rhudaur. I cannot express how much I like Rhudaur. I don't really know why, but Arnor is such an interesting time frame for me in Middle-earth, and the Men of Rhudaur are my favourite aspect of that. And so I'm looking forward to being able to use them. Oh, my camera. Oh, no, it is going quick. Slowly. There we go. Right. There are no archers present in this battle. But there's a lot of hillman trash. But remember, we have Morholt. And he does have Huskarls. So we do have our own Huskarl unit. We are outnumbered. I really should have waited for the wargs. I don't really understand why I did not. Right, get the pikes out, because pikes are useful, and they might curtail. The Witch King is behind us. Move to yourselves. Move to yourselves? That makes no sense. Move to the left. Positions! Prepare! Pikemen, drop those pikes. Defensive. Hold the line. Hillmen. Savages, charge. Hillmen, charge. Hillmen, get ready on the flank. Ruskarl. Ruskarls? Rhudaur Huskarls, or Ruskarls to be precise. Now, hopefully, there will be various new sound effects within all of this if everything's gone to plan, but if not... Oh no, I think I can hear them. I'll be quiet for a second so we can listen to the sound effects. Yeah, I think you can hear them. There's like a more weighty thud to the attacks of the units. No, run over there, run over there. Go, 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 go. They're killing more of us, but... Go for it. Huskarls, look how good they look. Don't they remind you of Skyrim, though? Or maybe that's because I'm just playing it so much at the moment. But, nice, big axes. Give them a hell, men! Yes. Sandwich them. And what of these Huskarls? Defeat seems almost certain. Our own weak-willed hillmen, but then here we're losing out. So we need to crush this resistance on this side. Who's their captain? It wasn't the Huskarls, was it? It's one of these, I think. I can show you what our general looks like. I believe he's unique. It's that fellow just there. With the two axes. It's very, very even. I don't know where their captain is, though. I can't remember what the Angmar captain looks like, or indeed what the... Oh, nice. How are the savages doing? Oh, they're getting battered. Savages, your armor piercing, come on! I do like our new symbol. I know some people have... Some people suggested it looked like a spider on Total War Center. I just can't see that myself. I really can't see that looking like a spider. Maybe upside down, if you turn your head upside down. No, if I turn my head upside down, it looks like a table. So that's not... that's not lining up. Come out defensive. You need to kill them quicker. You men over here, you're the key.
Only half the enemy force remains.
This is going to be so close, even if it is a win. I'm not confident now the pikes are being flanked. Pikemen are so useful, though. We've only got 26 Rhudaur savages, but look at this hillman army is going down. They're shaken. They're shaken. I can't Iron Fist again for another 180 seconds. Ah, they're moving over this side. Huskarls are really getting massacred now the pikes are going for it. It's all down to Morholt, really, isn't it? Ah, we've got wavering, but then our own units are going to waver shortly. Come on! Oh, there's the captain. That one. And there he is at the back there. Curses. If we could get him dead, no, we're not going to be able to. It's all down to those pikes and those hillmen on that flank. We've killed their Huskars, though, quite nicely. Victory is not a distinct possibility for a load of hillmen. Come on. This is going to be so disappointing if Morholt die. Our pikes are still holding ground. Ah, yeah, our pikes are doing really well. Really, very well indeed. But we have lost our savages. We've killed more of them than them of us. Their morale is wavering. Our morale is holding true. Their Huskars have really been... Yes! We've got routing on one side. Yes! Pikes down. Get over here. Get over here! We've won it. We've won it. We've won it. Pikemen, your next quandary. Yes, it is over. I knew Morholt would save the day. These pathetic rabble of the unaligned hillmen. Drop your weapons, brothers. Agendaur and Sauron promise wealth, prosperity, and peace. Join us.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
The enemy
army flees the field. This is a
done.
clear victory.
Captain Dumpfer, I need to shrink that rebel image. It's just being cut off too much. 284 kills. Morholt the Hillman. What a boss. Oh, look, straight away, an image we have never seen on the channel before. That is very much the city or town of Esgaroth. Lake Town. And that looks like Bilbo riding a barrel raft. My knowledge of the book is hazy. Of course, the barrels do, of course, happen, but I can't recall if they ride the barrels all the way to Esgaroth, or if they get picked up earlier. Or if they even jump out of the barrels and walk. I can't actually remember how they arrive in Esgaroth.
Such is the fate of all who oppose us.
Morvatarth is ours.
Victory!
Our
These
first
people
Rhudaur
now
region.
kneel before us, my lord.
The Etmoors, sorry. This is where we can train trolls from, but we don't get trolls till after the barracks event. But we get snow trolls in 2 regions, Morvatarth and Gundabad. So we either have to attack Gundabad or we just have to be happy with having them in one place only.
Nothing shall escape your notice in these lands, my lord. Nothing shall escape.
Oh, independence. Roaming our lands.
An order. We
I want a
shall
couple of them.
slaughter them. Orders.
Into support.
Joining forces, my lord.
Right, Khandum, those units that we said no to, back those chuck on. Yes, let's talk backwards for a while. Chuck those back on. I like our colour, by the way, an awful lot. I didn't receive any resistance to the colour either, actually. This is the first iteration of the colour. Normally, the colours go through various reshoots with various requests from this person or that person, or hitherto unknown persons. But this time, everyone has been happy with the colour from the outset. So, that was a win. No! Goblins, you dirty scum! We're too late. Yeah. Drango, hurry up. Shadoon, what have you got? You haven't got anything, have you? Lord Skuld, you move to Shadoon. I want more units heading south.
Yes.
This actually is alright on its own. Oh, it's got conscripts already. Rhudaur men, of course, do not have the Legion system. Neither do the Orcs. It starts with, I believe, conscripts, and then goes on from there. No, indeed, conscripts don't either. You need actual men. Yes. The first proper units, there they are. I really like it, and I mean, I appreciate the Legio thing is a bit of a break to the lore, and some people see that as a bit of an immersion break. But we can't change the word Legio, and I personally think it's very cool to have fought an entire campaign, and then at the end, for example, have a unit that you learn or you realise has crossed the entire map to fight where it's fighting. I think it's a very cool little addition. Of course, if we could, if we could rename it, I would, but we can't, so I can't. Damn it, Moria! I have no benefits of going to war with Moria, that's the problem. I'd happily do it if it meant something good, but I don't get anything out of it.
Your will, my lord.
And who is this Captain Gash?
Move, my lord. Merging up.
I mean, if you're from England... Oh, trolls, come off it, mate. Absolute no way. I don't want trolls roaming the land. No!
We will have our revenge. I'm gonna
Oh, they were
stick you.
killed down to 4 trolls? Come on. Low tax rate over there. Why are you losing money? I was going to say. Oh, just because of the... we just lost the attack there, didn't we? Lord Skuld's bodyguard is Northguard, who are a post-barracks event unit. So we won't get them for a while. Excuse me, sorry. It's very early in the morning. I really want Cameth Bryn. I'm so tempted to break my alliance because I really, really, really want Cameth Bryn. Because now we've got no staging ground of which to attack Imladris. Although actually that gives us a little bit of a buffer, I suppose. But well, we'll head west then for now. Leave behind the hillmen.
Move.
Oh, we don't have any money, of course, do we? You have to wait till... Can you go in there? Oh, no. Bugger. Right, Drango and Moorholt. Build a tower and then merge together over there, and we'll head west. Once we've taken Angsul as well, we're going to take Barkaleg, because it's a town, not a village. And ideally, we want towns wherever we can get them, and not villages. Villages are pretty useless. I wonder if, having said that, if the goblins might trade Cameth Bryn for Morvatar. But no, of course, they will not do that. Angsul is going to ride out the storm.
Have a taste of my blade. Yes.
Get me a tower there.
Nothing shall escape
Moorholt,
your
give me a
notice.
tower there.
Order.
Ah, you can't construct a watchtower there.
Move.
There we are. Go further down.
Nothing shall escape your notice in these lands, my lord.
Right, we move to the lowlands
Yes.
then. And I don't
Yes,
know
order.
where the town actually
Move.
is.
We go no further today.
It's up there somewhere, I think.
Yes. An order.
Our
We
depleted,
go no
much
further
depleted
today.
army. But then Morvatarth is very safe. I mean, we're allied to the goblins, so they're not attacking us anytime soon. And the Northern Dunedain are already there. That is the Amun-Sul region, so we don't want to stoke the bear too soon. Of course. Right, you men. I appreciate that. We need some monies. Although Litash will chuck in an extra 300 gold coins in a second, so that's good. And once we get Angsul, how many turns is that? Oh, this is going to be a fight for Angsul now. They'll rise up. You get to see some of our Angmar forces in action. Our mainstream lower tier. As I'm sure they will rise up, as we shall see in a brief moment. There's Variags again. Yes, there we go. And by rising up, Captain Icthelion and his army of rebels has ensured their utter and complete annihilation. We are outnumbered, but we have the favour with us. We have 3 units of Barrowites, with our own general being undead.
There'll be no escaping us now. Attack!
And all they've got a lot of lumbermen, I will give them that. And of course, lumbermen are armour piercing, so that is something to be wary of. But nothing to fear, in truth. They will fall as all men fall. And I'm not going quick enough. Drop those. Pause. Ah, we have our own archers this time. Ah, yes, you're already in a perfect position. Brilliant. Right. You 3 go behind the archers. Hoonvorn, you go at the back. One of those on that side. Why does it always put them on different sides? Why can't the one on the left be the one on the left and the one on the right be the one on the right? It's the other way around. It's always the other way around. Into positions. Do run. Let's get ready. Oh, it's raining. Bugger. Now, do know, as Angmar, we are a firmly middling faction. Our men are nowhere near as good as the Northern Dunedain. We are not as good as Gondor, the Turks, the Northern Dunedain, or Dol Amroth. But we are slightly better than Bree, Dunland, Enedwaith, and the Vale of Anduin. Anduin Vale. We are about on par with the Dale in terms of our stats. It's only our very late game units that really shine. And in terms of archers, we follow that same pattern. Our archers are not going to be winning any arrow awards. They are just archers. They'll kill units from range, but they won't go up against like the elves or the Northern Dunedain. Oh, do you want to see what Hoonvorn looks like? I can show you. There he is. The undead Dunedain Ranger. Our Barrowites moving into position. Hoonvorn, you go left as well. Right, the enemy comes. Quiet, maggots! Show 'em Hillman might! Men of Angmar, this is your destiny. Ah, look at the men of Rhudaur. You want strike infantry? You've come to the right place. They're targeting our Barrowites with their Woodland Hunters. Woodland Hunters are an insanely powerful archer unit. I'm sure many of you are aware of this, but for their tier, they are very, very good. Those sellswords need to die, Barrowites. Let's do this. In they go. Caught unawares. I'm sure you're wondering, so I'll tell you. The Barrowites have very good stats. A 14 attack that is effective against armor. And because of their enchanted and ancient blades, they have 20 total defense with 2 hit points. So they are an excellent unit, but they're not like an incredible. They're nowhere near the Army of the Dead, for example. They're a strong, very strong unit, and in the early game they will do very, very well, but they aren't on a par with Army of the Dead or even just our own elites, to be honest. Right, I know that you've not done what I've told you to do, because you're utter morons. And as ever, you've got to tell them to do everything twice, otherwise they don't do it. Run over there. Our main line holds. You'll do as you're told! I really like the Battle of Middle-earth voices. Angmar will prevail, men. We've just got to kill these Woodland Hunters. Oh, the Woodland Hunters have charged in! What? Getting over there. Oh dear, it's much more. One is reminded of the fact of something that I've just already told myself, that we are not the best infantry unit. We are a middling faction. And our units are not all powerful, and we're being shown that here today. Ah, yes, the enemy general dies, and suddenly the entire army capitulates.
We've lost half of our men.
If they want a war, we'll give them a damned
Very
war.
much in our favor.
UNCs, fire at will. I speak with the Witch King's voice. Charge, men, charge. Break these fools.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
We just need them all to break, and then it's over. But don't just go running around like headless chickens. Hoonvorn, if anyone comes out of that door, they're yours. Because you can replenish. No one else does. It's just those bloody hunters over there. Alright, send the Barrowites. They're not especially fast Barrowites, by the way, I should mention. We will give them a run around so they can't flee. Shepherd them towards. Got them, and they're broken. And they're going in the other gate. Oh, come on, just end the game, Bree. For goodness sake. No, they're not Bree, are they? They're rebels. So the problem with these tiny battle maps is they make it to the town square, they find the strength to fight on once again, and we just go through this endless, boring chase. Oh, their archers are back. Alright, Woodland Hunters. Well, we'll just take your town square then.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
We will utterly crush the enemy. Come on. Where are we being attacked from? Literally everywhere.
Our men are in. Our men no longer command the castle.
There we are. How do they still hold the walls? Just because those guys are sitting next to that one over there. God's sake. It's very frustrating fighting against an enemy when you don't have useful cavalry to just charge at the buggers. How many did we end up losing? 67%. We really are not the all-powerful demon horde that I was hoping for.
The battle is very much in our
come
favor.
on.
Victory will be ours. The enemy army.
Jesus Christ.
This is a clear victory.
Barrowites, 240 kills. Angmar infantry, close second, 233. Well done. Showing the Barrowites how it's done. Hoonvorn didn't get too many kills, though, I saw there. Well, I mean, he did very well, but he didn't get near 240. There's a cool image of Smaug. What is this? It looks like a hole into his body. Or I can't see anything other than a giant hole.
Another settlement falls before us.
Yes,
Victory!
another settlement does. And we lose some troops, which also is a good way of gaining money. Right, Hoonvorn. Not really the best utilization of your talents. I'd like a line of towers.
Escape your notice in these lands, my lord. Move.
Oh, you can build a port. Quite a way away, but you could get one. It's not too long till we actually could use that as well, actually. Oh, we get longships! Yay! We are a naval nation. Good to see. Good to see. Our troops are training, though, across the board. Oh, look at the army we could get from there quite quickly. Oh, and there. Oh, the temptation is so great. But no, I'd like that port, so we're going to wait.
An order.
Right, you folks.
Yes. Move. An order.
There it is.
Yes.
Merged
I've
north
tried
together.
whipping them, but the men are spent.
Lord Schooled.
An order.
Towers.
Nothing shall escape your notice in these
I like
lands,
towers.
my lord.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you that.
Yes. Nothing
I
shall
bloody
escape your
love
notice
sight
in
range.
these lands, my lord.
Argandale, you're going to push right to the
That's
edge
in
and build
command.
towers over there. Hoonvorn's heading out that way. And our troops here can return to
Will, my lord.
Kharndum, where they will be
Orders.
retrained.
By your command, we'll make camp
Oh,
here.
Valpamuikon. Oh, is IU a diphthong? It isn't, is it? Valpamiukon. Valpamiukon. Every A is an R. Marcinta has been born to Skuld and Inzelbeth. Brilliant. The line is secured.
An order. We go no further.
Oh, and we
today.
built our mines. That's where we're getting our increased money from. Right. End the turn. I'll probably go on for another couple of turns, but we are closing in on the end of episode 1. A nice little gathering of the regions around us. Hopefully we will be at war with Imlatris fairly quickly. We want to get them out before the barracks event.
Try words and not
Oh, yeah,
war.
definitely.
We cannot
Oh, I
thank
should
you
also
enough
say,
for
in terms of
accepting
house rules,
another worthy
I'm
proposal, then.
generally,
Excellent.
I'm in
It's good
favour
to
of
see
trying to
an honour
not
and a pleasure.
group
Farewell.
generals together. So I don't want to have at any time more than 2 generals in an army. That's the only one that I do try to stick with. Otherwise, I'm happy to just kind of do anything this time. This is to very much show off Angmar and to just enjoy it and have a bit of fun. And so I'm not going to restrict myself to
Into a force to be feared.
anything other than just... I don't want more than 2 generals in an army at any one time.
Moving to crush the enemy.
Yeah, more men of
Besieging the
Rhudaur.
coward, my lord.
They got warriors there as well.
Only a matter of time until the slaughter begins.
Are warriors the ones that throw axes? I can't remember. I think they do. I've set up the axe throwers so that they should not crash my game this time, which is good to note. We are 2 turns away from our building of the port. But if you can retrain, I will take that because we need 3 turns before we can build the port, whatever happens. So
An order.
we can spend a bit of
As
money
you
this turn.
command. Nothing shall escape your notice.
Another
in
one up
these
there.
lands. Yes.
Just setting up so that we've got full sight range. What do you think of the
Nothing shall
UI, by the way?
escape
This
your
is from
notice in
Cedric's
these
mod.
lands, my lord.
And as I say, it's been adapted to work with DaC. We've kept a lot of our own UI features, and I put our own building icon back in, the little house, because I didn't like this Cedric's one. I thought it looked too
An
medieval.
order.
And not enough
Stop
kind of...
here.
When I think of Northmen, I think of Rohan. And the building that was there was not very Rohirric to my mind, so I put our own one back. Right, end the turn again. Oh, I forgot to move Skuld. Sorry, Skuld. We should get Skuld onto the front lines as well. He's an excellent unit. Northguard are very, very good. But we've got enough generals at the moment, I suppose. Hoonvorn, Hill, Morholt, and Drangu conquering Eriador in the name of the great Overlord Agendaur. And we are at war once more. I think we'll fight this, and then that will round out episode number 1. Oh, we are severely outnumbered. And they've got Huskarls, Warriors, 2 units of Savages and Hillmen. But we have got 2 units of Wargs. And this is going to be a lesson in how cavalry wins battles.
Leave your mercy behind,
I hope.
men. We shall utterly crush.
We came to Lynn here. There, men of Lamadan contested the fords with fell folk of Umbar and Harad, who sailed up
Tide
the
of
river.
battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
This is a small northern Dunedain settlement that has been abandoned and claimed by this roving band of thugs. Rhudaur has pledged support to Angmar, and those that do not stand with Morholt will meet our blades. Right, you folks are going to be our line. Don't be in defensive mode, actually. Ah, these are the javelin throwing ones. Oh, no, they're the archer ones. Oh, brilliant. So not only do we get the best of both worlds. A Legion of the Hills! Morholt, you will just stand on that left-hand side. You fellows, as soon as you can, start shooting these buggers. Oh, Drangu is Silver Surfer. Oh, I didn't give control. I can fix that for the next one. That shouldn't crash the game fixing that. It's a very, very, very basic fix. Yeah, but that's good to know, though. He does have a... Well, he has a unit that comes from the goblins, which is why he's a Silver Surfer. Raider Wargs. I really, really like the fact that all of Angmar's orcs now are mounted. I think it's a really cool idea. Especially with the much cooler Warg model that we now have. They look ready for battle. Don't let them catch you, though. The first line is about to meet our line. Hillman. Our Savages, I appreciate, are not a very good defensive unit, but it's all we've got. Ah, Huskarls! We meet again. I'm not going to use the orcs, though, until they... Oh, they were charging through for the Hillmen. Yeah, well, that's fine.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Huskarls have gone straight in for the pikes. Our own cavalry, though, giving them the slip quite nicely. Run over there. You fellows are running and shooting, I hope? Yes. We don't want to... We want to use all our arrow potential here. Savages don't have any shields. They're perfect targets for mounted cavalry. Although you've... Oh, the axe throwers work! Yes! I'm running them closer to our line. That's foolish.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
Oh, the enemy general's
Now
gone.
his troops will lose their will to fight.
Quickly, quickly, quickly. Capitalize, capitalize. Get over here. Get over here! Don't get caught. Go on, run past him. Yes, nice, 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 nice. Charge. Hillmen are going down. There's the warriors. Axe throwers before they then charge in with their 2 axes. Our wargs are coming. They don't tend to charge properly unless they've run out of arrows, though, I do find. Oh, no, they perfect little gallop at the end there. Oh, Huskarls. Sorry, friends. Keep moving, Drango, keep moving.
Only half
Pull
the
the
enemy
wargs back
force
out.
remains.
Yeah, the Huskarls are going down. Hit those savages. How are we doing? 50 plays 27. Get the pikes to flank. How many cav? Oh, they've still got arrows left. You try and tie up those savages there. Oh, they're broken. It's all over. As soon as we charge into these units, they're going to flee now. I trust you're shooting the Rhudaur warriors.
Something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Oh, the Huskarls came back. Come on, Drango. Don't let them get back to the square. They'll only rally again and come back at us like the buggers that they are. Ah, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away! Run! Run, you fools! Oh, no, yeah, that's right. Yeah, just casually stand around and then defy my orders. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. Idiots. Right, you are coming down here to charge these savages. You men charge those warriors. Right, you're in position. There we are. And then all of you are going to hit those warriors from the back.
For the moment, the fortune of battle
And it
goes
ends
our
it.
way. Let's pray it remains as such.
Move those out. Cavalry. Hit at the same time.
Behold,
Yes!
the enemy
Yes!
is utterly vanquished.
Solid victory.
This is a great
230
victory,
Mount Graham
worthy of
Raiders.
Only the mightiest of generals.
Ah, yes, of course. I should have mentioned. Drango has Mount Graham Raiders, which is the second and better version of the Warg Raiders. Both are archers, but Mount Graham are the post-Barracks event version, and Warg Raiders are the pre-Barracks event version. So Drango is an incredibly powerful bodyguard, but let down by the fact, of course, Wargs are camels, and they die so much easier than horses, and I don't know why. We were looking into changing all Wargs to be horses, but it's not something we've done for version 3.
Victory!
Another victory.
Yes.
Oh, you know, that makes it even more annoying that they didn't beat those trolls, actually. Because they could have
Nothing
just
shall
given them
escape
the
your notice
runaround.
in these lands. An order.
Right, we'll build our last few towers.
Nothing
We'll
shall
move as
escape
much
your
as we can
notice
move in
these
this turn.
lands. Yes. Move.
And then
Nothing
we
shall
will
escape your notice in these
end the turn.
lands, my lord.
I'm not too concerned about what happens up there, so the next
Yes.
line of towers will be on these
I
hills.
tried whipping them,
And then
but
we'll
the
curl
men are
in.
spent. We'll stop here.
Shadoon is training. Ah, yes. Ah, we're going to get 5,000, so... Oh, you're not even coming. I'll take the rest of those that you've got, please. They can retrain and chuck them in as well. And we got 4,000, perfect.
An order.
And that means Angstel will build its port, which will give us a lifeline. Trade opportunities open up so much when you have a sea route. Granted, we are quite possibly the furthest port away from anywhere in the world, but at least it will give us a bit more trade. Do we actually have a... No, we don't, do we? It's going to ask if we had a diplomat, but we do not have a diplomat. We need to swoop in and take Imladris before they do, though. So now that we've got Nokfar Claw, we will... The army that is training will probe at Imladris. We'll probe. I don't want to send a general that will... I don't know who's the best general to lose. Probably Morholt, to be honest. He is technically our least useful general. Skuld has the benefit of being in the family tree, so we'd like him alive. Hoonvorn is a Barrowite, which is very useful. And Drango, of course, being a cavalry bodyguard, is gold dust. There are hardly any cavalry bodyguards left in the mod. So I don't really want to use Drango. So Morholt is probably going to have to be the killer of Elrond and the claimer, capturer of Imladris. if the goblins can keep them busy for now. But anyway, that's going to end episode 1. I am looking forward to this series. I really like the new Angmar, and I'm looking forward to being able to show them off to you. And there aren't too many gimmicks. It's a bit more of a straightforward campaign, with only one perhaps surprise twist, which I didn't show you at the beginning, which you'll find out later if everything goes to plan. But otherwise, this is it. So I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. I do hope you'll stick around for the saying how this episode goes. We are entirely confined to Rhudaur once again, but I'm pleased with that. Rhudaur is my favourite location. But anyway, so there we are. I'm off to carry on playing Skyrim and to enjoy some breakfast. So until we speak again, dear friends, do have a wonderful Sunday, and na bhfear na den pedimad melonin, and farewell.